Hello, good day, good morning, good evening. Welcome, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, stop. You need to hear from this man. This guy that you see in front of you in the hot seat, or for those of you that are listening into the podcast, you are missing a treat if you do not stop and listen to this. This guy has helped me to get my brand to go global. He works with global influencers, people who are on a mission and have a passion to be more, to serve more, and to make that impact something that generates incredible income from all over the world, not just from where you are. So stop everything, stop what you're doing, listen in, because he is in my hot seat. I've been in his hot seat and he's interrogated me. Now it's my turn. Mark, welcome to today's show.
Hi, Sammy. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really looking forward to a chat with you and discussing all of our tips and strategies. And thank you. It's an honour to be your guest today.
Yeah, well, I'm delighted that you're in the hot seat. Like I say, I'm getting you back now because you put me in your hot seat. Mark has an incredible podcast, which we will talk about as we go through all of the nitty gritty that I'm dying to get into with him. But the main thing that I really want to get stuck into straight away, Mark, is why you have decided that building other people's profiles is something that you're so in love with.
So, my first start to my entrepreneurship journey, you will remember I was doing lots of public speaking, which I still do. I speak in schools on drug awareness, bullying, mental health, and a lot of entrepreneurship events, which I'm really passionate about. I love it. And I threw myself in the deep end, Sammy, a few years ago. I was a network marketer for a couple of years, built a team of 50, recruited into 6 different countries. I wasn't following my passion. So I jumped in the deep end to become a public speaker. No skills in public speaking. I've trained as I've gone along. And I didn't really realise back then it's not just about being a speaker. Speakers normally do something else and they speak to spotlight what they do. I didn't have that when I first started my entrepreneurship journey. I just threw myself into speaking, sharing my message, and I started to speak all over the UK, really build momentum with my speaking. I needed products and services, so I did my first self-hosted book, self-published book, and I created public speaking coaching once I had gained some experience. I built a successful online coaching community. I had lots of one-to-one clients, and I still do bits of public speaking coaching. But I really started, I was interviewed on a radio show, and they offered me to be a co-host of the radio show, and it opened me up to press and media. And before, it was always just about me. And at first, I wanted to be the star of the show on the stages, sharing my message. But then when I started serving my clients and positioning them with expert position radio interviews, getting them featured in major publications, news outlets, Fox, NBC, CBS, also getting them onto digital front covers of magazines, I loved the feeling I got from serving others and seeing the results that they have got. So if you look at my social media now, I occasionally post about me, but it's more focused on my clients because I'm passionate about helping them to build their profiles.
It's a bit addictive, isn't it? When you start seeing them get the results and how their life lights up, their business lights up. That's something that I get the most enjoyment out of with our Brand Builders Club members. So for you to see that, now I've been a part of that because Mark just did all of the press and publicity for the Law of Brand Attraction book, and we were in all kinds of magazines and news and press releases all over the world. And two of our authors from The Secret, Marie Diamond and Bob Doyle, you've also interviewed them and you've helped them on their press journey, and you're doing a lot of amazing stuff. It's been brilliant just watching you accelerate, because as your clients are accelerating, so are you. And that's a great benefit of doing the work that we do as change makers. But it can't always have been that way. Now, I know you've got quite a heavy backstory, haven't you? It's not always been sunshine and roses for you. In fact, that's why you go into schools to talk about drug awareness. Take us a little bit through how you got to that stage of going in and teaching others about that. What happened to you?
So I was always bullied at primary school about the way I looked, about my sexuality before I knew it myself.
Wow.
Low self-esteem, low self-confidence. I left school with really bad GCSE results. I always joke, if you put them all together, they would spell the word fudge, because they were that bad. And I started drug taking at the age of 15. It started on softer drugs, and by the age of 21, I was addicted to crack cocaine and heroin. I went on a party night out with friends, tried a new party drug, having the time of my life 1 minute, and the next minute I woke up in hospital. I just collapsed and died. Bruising.
You died?
Yes, my heart flatlined. I had bruises all up my arms where they had to pump adrenaline into me, a shaven chest where they'd brought me back from the dead, and it was a wake-up call. It didn't happen straight away either, Sammy. A few days after that, I carried on taking crack cocaine, and it took for my mum catching me. At the time, I was 21 years old, catched me taking crack cocaine. She grabbed the crack pipe off me, ran outside with it, and she chucked it down the drain. And she did one of the best things she could have ever have done for me, and that was to chuck me out of the family home. I moved away from the area where I was living, all the associations that were bringing me down. It really is true. People either lift you up or they drag you down. I slowly started to move forwards. It was a slow road to recovery. I was still going out partying, taking party drugs. But by the age of 25, I really started to get more mature, and I've always been a worker throughout my addictions, Sammy. I never have been on the dole. I've never stolen it off anyone. I always worked the whole time in really big brand hairdressers all throughout the UK. And by the age of 30, I had had enough of making lots of money for other people and not making any money for myself. So I left a paid job, I had a mortgage, and I jumped in feet first. And that was the start of my entrepreneurship journey. I started as a freelance hairdresser, and it was a year after that someone offered me a network marketing opportunity, and that was the start of me becoming who I am today. It opened me up to the world of personal development, mindset, what can be achieved with building a network. I started with 300 friends on Facebook. I maxed out on my Facebook now. I've got a following of around 30k at the moment, and that's continually growing. And I learned business skills, networking, how to build a brand. So I have to speak highly of network marketing. It did really open up entrepreneurship to me. But like I said, I wasn't following my passion. I thought, I'm not feeling selling someone else's product. I can brand myself and package myself up. And I originally started the journey to share my message to help others to see that you can come from any past and you can create any future reality.
It's such an amazing and inspirational story. I mean, you're those of you watching and listening right now, you're hearing just the tip of the iceberg. I've heard the full story and was on the edge of my seat. Mark and I actually met when we were speaking on the same stage at an event the back end of last year. It must have been 2019 when we were speaking on stage together in London. And I was literally on the edge of my seat listening to what you've been through. This is a whistle stop tour because of the time that we've got, but that must have been such a significant turning point for you when your mum rejects you, throws you out of the family home. So you've got nothing, you've got no one, you've got nowhere. Most people would go on a downward spiral at that point. What is it within you, and who is it that has inspired you to be so resilient and to bounce back from that? Because many people don't.
So I think coming from a past of bullying, it does make you stronger when you are older. I also used to do dancing as well when I was younger, which was great because it helped me with confidence, having friends and having a hobby. And we used to do dancing competitions and I never used to win, but I was better than a lot of the dancers, but they used to beat me always. But I carried on and carried on and carried on dancing and doing competitions, even though I had never won the competitions. And that really built up resilience, you know. It really did build up that you just keep on going and keep on going.
It's like you were
So,
enjoying the journey. So the destination wasn't important to you, it was the journey. And actually, that's what I'm hearing from you constantly as we talk right now: the journey, the journey, the journey. Even the journey that you have with your clients when they've got a product or they've got a service that they want to take out there to a global audience. The journey that you take them on is really fabulous. Like, you don't just do one thing, you've got so many things that you throw into the mix of the expertise, and obviously bring in a lot of your past into supporting other people in future. What would you say is the number one worst lesson that you've learned while you've been in business? What's been the biggest like hit that you've come through?
it took me a very long time to monetize my business, and I put a smile on social media and I carried on going and going and going. And at times I did have times of doubt, and that just would not stop me. I just know that you just keep on going and you keep on going. So I would say make sure that you get the right people around you as quickly as possible. Because, Sammy, I'm going to be totally honest, not everyone is a nice person and not everyone has your best interests at heart. They might smile, you might think they're your friends, but you have to learn some hard lessons along the way. So reach out and ask for help. If I'd have done that and had the right people around me a little bit quicker, because when I started entrepreneurship, I really didn't have money to invest. I actually sold my house. I was in £30,000 worth of debt, going to bed at night worrying about debt. and I sold my home. I had a 3-bedroom, semi-detached house, landscapers in the garden, brand new kitchen, new driveway. It was a show home, but I was going to bed at night worrying about debt. And I made one of the biggest decisions I had to make, and that was to sell my home. And I paid off all the debts. I invested £7,000 in a business coach, and I jumped straight into social media entrepreneurship. But I didn't have money after that. I had to really struggle to get things done. My first book, I did it on a bootstrap and paid around £400. I spoke all over the UK. I didn't earn a penny. I did all of that free. It costs me. I
Right.
was going
It
out
does at first, doesn't it? You're paying for
driving.
hotels and travel and fuel and yeah,
It's
it's a
not
lot of
an
money.
easy journey, Sammy. It's not. And people only see the positives. And a lot of people probably wouldn't do the struggles that I have been through to get there. But I would say that they're my struggles. But if you get supported by the right people, and you'll do it a lot quicker because you'll learn from their mistakes so you don't have to make them.
That's a key thing, isn't it? Is I would say the same actually. It's being surrounded by the right people. Mark and I have known each other since we spoke on stage last year, but it was actually one of those people that I'd already been burned by, and Mark ended up then getting burned by, and we were brought back together again through this contact. So good things do come out of adversity and stress and pain, but it doesn't always have to be that way. And if we can get in with the right networks earlier on, it does make a massive difference to your confidence and how fast you can really start letting go to be able to grow. That's a big thing, isn't it, for entrepreneurs? And maybe you've found that too, those of you that are watching and listening, is letting go is one of the hardest things. And if you've been burned, or someone's messed you around, or you've spent money with someone and you didn't get what you needed from it, it makes you less what would the word be, less positive about going into other circles and new relationships. And then you start holding on to everything and thinking, well, I'm alone, I can't do it unless I do it myself, which is the opposite of what you need to do when you're growing a business. You have to let go to grow. You have to learn to trust. And probably for every, I don't know, 10 people that I've had come into my business or had contact with my business, for every 10, there's always been 2 or 3 that have stayed. That might seem like very low odds, but those 2 or 3 are still with me now, all these years later. And you'll just keep doing that. So what would you say, Mark, is for people who are at that point of growth, they're now wanting to get that message out, they're wanting to make a bigger impact, they're wanting more influence, they're ready, they've been ready to be ready for a while, and now they're ready to go to that next level. What would you say is the best strategy for somebody? You've gone through it all the hard way. So if we were to cut someone's journey and say, here's how to go from 0 to hero, what would your journey be now, knowing what you know?
So I would say you do have to get skills, and I would say skills that are really, really important. Social media is really important, especially the business that I am in. Branding yourself, which Sammy is the brand builder, she can help you there. But it really is important how you show up, and brand is not just about your image either. It's your whole ethics and values and building proper strong relationships. So I would say as well, another really, really important skill to have is sales. And as a really good trainer who trained me, Marsha Martin, it's don't be scared of sales. It's enrollment. You're enrolling people. Sales, I'm really good at sales now, but I wasn't. There's skills that I had to learn. So I think that's really, really important. Building a network of quality people, your ideal
Yeah.
customers, your ideal clients is really important as well. Um, I'm I'm thinking off the top of my head here, so I would also say building your strong network, surrounding yourself with the right kind of people, coaches, mentors, really, really can
And do that early
transform
on.
your business. And you don't have to pay thousands for coaching. You can go to a good community group where they do coaching, and then you've got the support of the community as well. Also, you do have to hunt in the beginning. You have to do a lot of outreach. I do a lot of outreach now, reaching out to people, building relationships, and you have to do that on a consistent
Mm.
basis. It's so, so important. And also, I'm just thinking the best way to put it. Yes, I would say outreach in the beginning and your product and service. In the beginning, I didn't have the right product or service, and I didn't have the belief in myself. I didn't have the belief in the product and service. You really want to get clear on who you help, the problems that you solve. You can package up anything and sell it, but you've got to have strong belief in that product and love it and have that belief in it. Also, mindset. I work on my mindset daily. I do self hypnosis on the morning. I had a LLP coaching session yesterday, which was amazing. I'm constantly online, improving constantly. It's not something that you just do once. Repetition is the key to success. I think once you have mastered all of those skills, then you leverage with PR and media to really go bigger and get yourself to bigger audiences. The way forward isn't the old traditional ways of PR, it's all digital media. Where are people now, Sammy? They're on their phones, they're on their laptops, and that is what I hate to say it, shit hotter, getting people,
I love
getting,
you saying it. Say it again. I want to hear it again.
I'm shit hot
Yes, you are.
at getting people noticed quickly online.
The key thing about what Mark is saying here is there's a process. There is a process, and when you follow that process, it works 100% of the time. But when you try and cut corners, it's kind of like buying cheap toilet roll. You just end up using 3 times as much, and then you kick yourself because you're going and buying a lot more faster. And that's what happens when you get cheap services, get cheap products. They don't always work out to be exactly what you want, and you end up then spending a lot more on disaster recovery. I mean, the amount of people that come to us at brand builders and say, help, my brand has done this. I thought it was doing this and it wasn't. It's gone here. How do I now change that? I'm not attracting the clients that I want. So for you to be able to take somebody that already has that product, who already knows clearly who they are, what they want, who they serve, how they serve, makes it so much easier to have the world talking about you then, doesn't it?
I mean, who doesn't want to reach globally? I mean, there are people that are just looking for more local based, but I mean, to feature globally in so many different places and getting that exposure. And also its positioning. I posted a post in my group today, and it was about a feature that I had done, where on the feature I was positioned next to Microsoft and Amazon. Straight away, that was going out to 1 million readers worldwide.
Yeah.
My face is next to Amazon and Microsoft. Instant credibility. That is the power of good media and good PR.
So do people actually need to have a product before they start with PR, or is it a good thing to start PR early to build the personal brand? What would you say is the most effective way to really maximize getting that and leveraging the exposure?
It all depends on circumstances. Someone may not have a product or a service. They may have a really important message that they need the world to know about. They might have a really, really powerful message. It may be controversial. It may be trending, really news trending, newsworthy. They may not have a product and service, but PR is still a perfect fit for them. But also, if you have a product and a service and you want more money, you want more clients, it's simple. You need to get your product and service to more eyes, to a bigger audience. And that is what media coverage will do.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about several brand builders actually, because Mark's in the brand builders club, and there are several brand builders that I think that are essential for you to partner with. I don't know if you and Simon Ben have connected already.
We've
right
spoken.
Yeah, because I mean there's a natural synergy there for both of you, especially with the schools and the kids, and the message that you have to get out to them and the message that Simon has to get out to them. It's a similar audience, but the key thing really as well now is once you've got your brand, once you've got that PR strategy in place, and definitely if you're even thinking about building a personal profile, talk to Mark about what he does for every type of influencer. Like he says, whether you've got a product, whether you've got a book, whether you've just got a message and you want to get that message out, you need to start PR as early as you can. I regret not doing more PR than I have, because I did a lot of PR early on, and then I went through a shift in my business when my business partner left, and I wanted to just get centered again because I was knocked off my axis. I wanted to get centered again, but actually while I was doing that, I could still have been building a message. And that's the thing is, for those of you listening now, don't wait, don't hesitate to start building that message and start building and raising your profile, because if you don't do it, you're going to create the perfect product or the perfect service, the perfect program, but you're going to have no one who's listening. No one's going to be there to congratulate you or to help you to get that message out to the world. You need to start list building and start profile building as soon as you start a business, really, because no matter then what you build, what you sell, you'll always sell more of it because you've got the trusted profile that people want to come and build that brand with you. And it's also really good for other influencers that want to contact you. So Mark, is there a good strategy for getting in front of other influencers like radio stations and TV media opportunities? What's the best way? Is it to start building up that digital profile so they're finding you when they're looking for that expert?
So I'd like to touch on what you were talking about. So it's great to get the exposure on these platforms because they've all got big amounts of readership and it's targeted to where your target market will be. But not only that, they're marketing pieces that you use to your advantage.
Again and again.
Once you're in an article, you can email that to all of your email list. you can be sharing that occasionally on a frequent basis on your social media platforms. They're expert positioned to spotlight you as a success story. So each time you share it on your social media, new people will see it, and it's giving you instant credibility that it's third party, and that builds trust. And I never say to my clients, you'll get loads of money. It's not about that. It's about getting the authority, the positioning, the credibility, which gains trust, which leads to making sales, which leads to attracting clients. They're great marketing pieces, expert positioned. And another big advantage that I must touch on, I help you to dominate Google. The places where I syndicate to: Google News, page one of Google. Also, it gets syndicated to YouTube. Most people haven't even got videos of themselves on YouTube. So these PR articles are done with voiceovers of the article and uploaded to YouTube. So your digital footprint on Google skyrockets. So anyone searching your name or your business name finds you, and that is what attracts opportunities. People will Google you, and if you are not featured in magazines, media, all of the top people know this and they do it, and that's what helps to attract opportunities and clients. My clients have had in speaking engagements, sold books, sold courses, but it's not about that. It's more about the credibility, positioning, authority, and attracting the clients.
Well, influence builds income. Let's not, even though people say, well, social media doesn't work. Social media doesn't work if you don't know how to work social media, right? You could know how to work social media and still not work social media. Social media works when it's part of a strategy, a whole strategy, right? You don't just put generic stuff up there and expect to sell loads of things. But when people are searching for what you provide, there'll be someone who's been following you on social media and their friend is saying to them, I've got this problem going on. And they're going to say, oh, hang on a minute. I've been following somebody that does exactly that. Let me put you in touch with them. That's the profile, and the building of that awareness is so essential at every step of your business. Mark, are there any things that we need to think about, like any traps that we can fall into with PR? Are there any things that we need to be really aware of?
I would say a lot of people do get caught in the trap of, oh, I only want premium, top Daily Telegraph, The Sun. I actually say that is actually quite traditional, and that doesn't guarantee a better kind of result at all. I would say you want to be on platforms where you know, if you've got a book, you're an entrepreneur, you're a real estate investor, you're a celebrity in personal development, you want to know you're talking to your fans, and that is what I do. My platforms are for entrepreneurs, business, real estate. I also have my own news publishing site, which I launched this year. What is really unique about it, Sammy, I can run a press release through my own news platform and it gets published globally. It goes out to around 200 media outlets, financial feeds, industry news sites. But even better, what even makes it even more unique, it goes out to independent news sites just like mine. So you're getting big exposure from these press releases. Also, if I'm running features through my own news site, because I'm still building the profile of that, I run campaigns to the articles, which is really, really unique. I target those articles to your exact target market. I research on insights. Who is this piece for? Who's it going to reach? And I mean, my last article that I did, it had a reach of almost 100,000 just from a little campaign. That is where I'm really unique, that I've also got the skills of network marketing, digital marketing. I've also got Facebook ads training, which really makes it unique. I also work with my clients to share with them the best way for them to use their coverage, because it's no good me just saying, here you are, here's your link. You have to coach them a little bit of how to leverage their marketing, and that's what I'm really, really good at.
It makes such a difference to have somebody that understands the online world to manage PR, because most PR companies that I've ever worked with or been in contact with or seen them work with my clients, they tend to just focus on, like you say, the big tabloids and going for I mean, the PR company that I used a few years ago, I was paying £2,500 a month plus VAT to them, and they were getting me in the Guardian, the Telegraph, and Forbes, and all those magazines. But then they didn't do anything else with it. It was like it appeared in the Guardian, and then it was like, oh, great, get it on your website. And there are so many ways that that could have been used if the PR company also had that online marketing string to their bow. And that's the beauty of, I think, having a network marketing business background, because you get, actually, I think network marketing companies, they put a lot of investment behind their training of how you can get out there and how to build profile, how to get everybody to come on board and you know, at least join your universe, so they then become part of the momentum that you build within a network relationship marketing company. So you bringing that history into what you're doing now is incredible, because you understand it in a way that most PRs wouldn't, because they've been doing it their whole life and they've grown up with traditional media, whereas you're coming at it from the opposite angle. You're like, okay, hang on, we've done all this online stuff, I know how to sell product. How can we sell ourselves as if we are a product? How can we get out there and really build the influence and the impact and the income that comes as a result of building massive visibility and exposure to an integrity driven message? And that's where you really sit well, I think, and so differently. You know, and you obviously stepping up into your platform now of the global profile builder. Mark, what's your vision for where you're going? Tell us about the vision for what's next for you.
So I'd like to backtrack actually and just go back to your points, because they were really, really good points. In the UK, you can actually get in trouble for sharing articles that are featured in mainstream media. So if you're using them and sharing those articles, you can actually get fined for doing that.
Wow. How so? What's that about?
There's some kind of council that own the rights to the titles of the articles, some of the content, and you have to pay a license to be able to share so many pieces a month. So if you're getting PR in these mainstream tabloids, yes, it's great to get that big exposure. I'm not denying that. But if you're a social media entrepreneur that wants to build their profile with marketing pieces, you won't be able to use those features unless you come up with really clever ways how to do it. Also, it's not an easy process to get featured in those kind of publications. It's quite a difficult process, and some people even try to do it on their own as well, which is really, really, really hard.
I wouldn't try.
I hold their hand. I hold your hand the whole way through the process. I do everything for you, and that is where I feel I'm really unique as well. Now, coming back to your next question, my vision is I'm myself, I want to grow even more global myself and grow more globally. I'd like my own television show at some point in time. That's in my vision, and I know that I'll manifest that as well. To serve, that is always been the reason I started this journey, but to serve on a bigger level. I've already got a team around me now with my agency. I've got a team of writers, graphics. I've even got people that are supporting me with the sales side of the business. So I have really scaled, but I really want to scale up on a whole bigger level myself as well. Serve my television show. I want to see myself on billboards.
Excellent.
I've got big goals and a big vision, because I know that you do have to dream big. And I would like to get my message out to big audiences on stage as well, which I know I'm going to be working with you on that as well, Sammy. We're already on to that goal.
We are.
I've spoken on the same stage as Jack Canfield already, in Toronto for a very small amount of time. I really want to step up into my brilliance and really help a bigger amount of people.
And you will do it, because out of everybody that I know, you are definitely going to go and do that. Mr. Resilient. I think that should be your fame name. The resilient PR expert. I mean, gosh, the amount of times you've been knocked down and get back up again, get down, get back up again. You know, having this tenacious young man who refuses, no, how could you not become a global superstar if that's what you're wanting? If someone's got you by their side, and that's why I've chosen for you to be by my side to support on the PR with all the things that we're doing. And Mark, it's been a pleasure to watch you expand your brand. Just even over, we haven't even known each other a year yet, but my gosh, you've put a massive fire in your rocket. You're fueling it constantly, and I have no doubt that you're going to have your own TV show, my friend. Is there anything that you would like to share with the audience before we start wrapping up? We're nearly 45 minutes into the show now. Anything that you'd like to share with us, and tell us, obviously, how can people get in touch with you?
Yes, that would be great. I would say I normally work with high profile, high value individuals, and I support them to really get noticed, be seen, and be heard. If that sounds like you and you want worldwide digital media coverage, please type yes in the comments, reach out, because that is what I do. I help people to get known globally. If that's you, reach out to me, even if you're a person of value and you haven't got that profile at the moment. I can help you to get it really quickly. And some people, I know PR would work perfectly for them. Get out of your own way, work on your mindset, and just jump in feet first, because some people haven't got the belief and they're scared to go to those bigger audiences. I would say, if you want to build credibility, authority, be positioned in a premium way, reach out. And the best way to contact me, it's really, really easy. Contactmark.me. Go to contactmark.me and schedule a meeting. We'll just have a relaxed get together, and then we can discuss getting you known globally.
Love it. Who wouldn't do that? I mean, it's worth the conversation, right? So on the screen, for those of you that are watching us live right now, you can go to Mark's website at mspnewsglobal.com, or you can just get directly in contact with Mark and start that conversation. Contactmark.me. Mark, it's always a pleasure. I'm going to see you in Brand Builders Club, and just to watch you expand, as I say, has been extraordinary so far. I'm very much enjoying watching your journey. For those of you that are maybe at the beginning of your journey, maybe you're in the middle of your journey and you're deciding you need to pivot, or maybe you're getting towards the end of your journey and you're thinking, you know what? I'm thinking that I want to build something that I can step away from so it works without me. Just reach out, contact Mark, because if you build the brand and the exposure of you, you're always going to be worth more. If you build the brand and exposure of your business, you are always going to be worth more. If you're building the brand and exposure of your products, that product is always going to be worth more. The earlier you do it, the faster you're going to get to where you want to go. So contactmark.me is your route to getting there. Mark, thank you so much for being on the show with us. I know how busy you are, so it's a blessing to have you come and shine the light on your journey and how you've got to where you are, and so many little golden nuggets that we've had throughout the show today. And thank you to those of you that are listening in, that have given time for yourself. You've invested in you just even by being here and getting all of the treasure that this amazing, great man in front of you is giving you today. Mark, is there anything you want to wrap up with before we go?
I would just like to say thank you for inviting me on. Anyone watching that doesn't know Sammy, I would like to say she comes from the heart. She's got real good ethics. And when I joined Brand Builders Club, I didn't really know what to expect. And we have celebrities part of Brand Builders Club. It doesn't matter what level you are. I have only been with you a couple of weeks, Sammy, and already I have learned so much. It's much more than I have ever expected. But I just want the listeners to know your values and your ethics. You really are what you say you are, and I think it's important people know that. And it's an absolute pleasure for you to invite me onto the show. Thank you everyone for watching. Do reach out to me if you want to discuss press and media. Contactmark.me, and thanks once again for the opportunity to be on the show.
You are very welcome, and I want to get Mark back in time to see what did Mark do next, because this is definitely a guy to watch. I'm so blessed to have you in my life, Mark. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself and for others today. Guys and girls, we will be back next Tuesday. We are now delivering these shows on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Take care, have fun, be happy, be that brand that you want to see in the world, because there is a you, yes, you, shaped hole in the universe right now, and we're waiting for you to put your throne out there, to put your crown on, and to start claiming the you that is true in your industry. So take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the groups between these sessions. And if you haven't booked onto a Thinkubator yet, come and Thinkubate with me next Tuesday. Go to brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator, and I look forward to personally masterminding with you there. Take care, enjoy your evenings, and I will see you very soon. Mwah. Take care. Bye-bye.